Barcelona had 70% possession and still lost 4-0. This wasn't the referee, this wasn't bad luck, this was predictable. And if you've watched Barcelona in Europe this season, you felt it coming. This is the problem. Let me tell you guys something about the illusion of control, because I saw a team having 70% possession, but having possession doesn't mean control. And please, except for the Barcelona team under Pep Guardiola a few years ago, it doesn't mean you have control. That's an illusion. And this game showed you why. It does sound dominant, yes. But when you compress the pitch, compress it like this, you rely on recovery speed. You need fast center backs. And Atletico Madrid, apart from the game they lost against Rayo Vallecano, Atletico Madrid didn't rush. They waited. They fake their pressing, and then they have one vertical pass, a runner in behind. It's just that simple. Boom, there's the goal. And guys, I've seen this before. It's not just random, it's a blueprint. Because listen, we all watch a lot of football, European matches, and one thing I told myself is, yo, I've seen this before. This defense has been exposed before. I saw this in the Champions League match between Barcelona and Inter Milan. And Inter Milan, both Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid, know how to expose Barcelona's defensive high line. And these teams, especially in Europe, they are not surprised anymore. They are prepared. They do their homework. So the whole thing with Barcelona is, this isn't about one bad night. This has become a structural thing. But this whole video isn't just about Barcelona, because we need to give Atletico Madrid their credit. We need to give them their flowers. Let's start with Antoine Griezmann, because the kid, he grew older and older and older, but he's still relevant. His touches, the way he finishes, sublime, crazy, beautiful goals, beautiful passing. So we also saw Lookman arrive. And once he arrives, you guys are not ready. And honestly, guys, every Atletico attack looked dangerous. They were attacking space. They didn't care about the possession. I saw a midfielder running a lot, covering a lot of spaces. Llorente, it's Marcos Llorente, I think. I know him because of FIFA, but he played a really good game. They were pressing well. Their timing was great, keeping the field wide. Impressive. Oh, this one is interesting because we're talking Lamine Yamal. I've seen it a lot on the internet and everyone's talking about it. One question which is quite uncomfortable: where was Lamine Yamal? Because one thing about Lamine Yamal is, stats don't lie, he is not a big game player this season. 6 big games, 0 goals, 0 assists. But please do not forget, no Rafinha, no Rashford on the left, triple marked, which made it even harder for him to perform. And when you're the only creative player, these teams, these opponents, they will adapt. We've seen it. And this is where us football fans struggle sometimes, because when you see 70% possession, you think, all right, that's dominance, that's control. But often it's not. And I've seen it time and time again. I'm 29, I turned 30 years old in May. The scoreboard, they don't represent what's happening on the pitch. They often don't. That's just football. Football is harsh. You can dominate the ball, but if you can't defend the space behind, you'll still end up losing. And this was not just a loss, it's a 4-0 loss, a beatdown. They got punished. Now, the biggest question of them all: can this Barcelona win the Champions League? I've seen it last season. Their loss, them being knocked out by Inter Milan, showed me that yes, it is attractive watching Barcelona. Yes, they try to outscore their opponents. Yes, they score a lot of goals, which I respect. And I honestly think that in modern football, comparing Barcelona to all other teams, how they played last season was incredible. And I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I'm going to give Barcelona their flowers because they deserve it for what they've shown and also for what they showed, and also Hansi Flick being a world-class coach. But out of honesty, pure honesty, they are not going to win the Champions League because it's just not good enough. It's just not enough because relying on scoring goals, of course, you need to outscore your opponent to win the match. It's just that simple. But Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan are just two examples of teams showing up prepared, fully prepared, and they win Barcelona. They win over Barcelona with ease. They beat them with ease. And of course, this was a little bit exact. No, that's a lie, by the way, because it should have been 5-0. Could have been 7-0. All right, let's say 7-1 because of the disallowed goal. But what I'm trying to say is when a club shows up prepared against this Barcelona system, it's over. And don't start about the remontada. It might come, but what I'm trying to say is they need more if they want to win the Champions League. But because yes, they are first in La Liga, they perform really well outside of the Champions League. But in Europe, though, you will meet opponents who come fully prepared. And Inter Milan showed it. Atletico Madrid showed it. It's not just one bad night. This is structural. This is a blueprint of how to beat this Barcelona side, this system. And please don't start about Inigo Martinez because he could cover space. He was a leader. He was a really good defender for Barcelona. But still, even with him, even with Rafinha last season, because I've seen a few comments on my video as well, even with them, they still got knocked out by Inter in the Champions League. And last but not least, Barcelona is very talented. We all know it. They are very talented. But one thing in football is patterns can beat talent. And that's the whole thing. So unless everything changes, unless they try to adapt, they figure out something new, something different, or try to adapt to their opponent because they have the talent, I don't see them winning another Champions League. The last time is 11 years ago, 2015. And right now, it's 2026.